Hello, students and parents. This is Miss Summerfeld. I'm here with Mr. Anderson, and we just wanted to give you an overview of what we discussed in the Travel Symphonic Band meeting this week, in case you were unable to be there. So this is our third year doing the trip. We're super excited this year to take you all to Chicago. The directors will be myself, Mr. Anderson, and Mrs. Anderson. The setup of this group is kind of as follows. It's a performance group, and we do have a number of concerts and a lot of rehearsals. So it is a busy schedule, but we are aware of student burnout. So the Woodwind and Brass Ensemble are going to take a pause starting in January, and Pep and Jazz Band will both have a reduced schedule in February to allow for that. Symphonic band rehearsals are Mondays and Thursdays, starting in January, 6:45 to 7:40 a.m. The big dates to look at right now and kind of get in your calendar are the tour dates for the actual Chicago trip. It will be March 9th through 11th, which is a Friday through Sunday. We'll meet Friday morning before school to drop off our luggage, have our goodbyes, and then we leave Friday mid-afternoon, kind of right after the lunchtime hour. So all of the students will eat lunch at CMS on Friday. We will meet in the band room, get all of the instruments and luggage loaded up, and hit the road for Chicago. Then our tour is actually going to start on Friday night with some sightseeing in Chicago. Saturday, we're going to have our clinic with a college professor, our awesome concert at the Field Museum, do some more sightseeing, and then see a concert on Saturday night, and then head to Millennium Park and take your selfies with the bean on Sunday morning before hitting the road to come back to Eden Prairie. We have a number of performances with this group. Of course, the first of which is on the actual trip in Chicago. Saturday, March 10th, we'll be at a clinic at Northwestern University with a college professor there. And then Saturday afternoon at the Field Museum in Chicago. Now, any friends or family you have in the Chicago area that want to come watch our concert at the Field Museum, it would be fantastic. Making music is one of the best things, and it gets just a little bit better when you know some familiar faces out in the crowd. So please join us there if you're able. But if you're not, when we get back on Friday, March 16th, we'll have a welcome home concert at CMS to play through all of our pieces and showcase the students and all of their hard work throughout this process. And then our final concert for this group will be Monday, March 19th, which is a joint concert with 6th grade Bandtastics and the high school wind ensemble, which will take place at the high school. It's a super fun concert, and it's really amazing to see the range of musicianship from 6th grade all the way up to the top group at the high school, and you are just going to love it as much as we do.
Some more details about the itinerary as we go through the next part of the slideshow. Keep in mind that we will have exact times once we get all the rosters turned in, and then Gateway, the travel company that we're going through, will give us a final printout of our schedule with everything down to the nearest half hour. So the detailed itinerary is forthcoming, but here's basically what we're doing. Everybody packs up their luggage and takes the appropriate luggage for a weekend trip. We get on a nice coach bus that's got a lot of amenities, including Wi-Fi and plug-ins for your devices and movie screens. It's a comfortable trip we'll be taking. It's a long drive to Chicago, so we'll be stopping in Madison at a food court where you can get whatever you'd like to eat. Hopefully, if we don't run into a snowstorm, we'll get to our hotel in enough time to drop off our stuff before we head over to the Hancock Tower for this tilt experience. Basically, you go in and you lean up against the glass, and the whole wall tips out over the side of the skyscraper. It's pretty scary, so not everybody has to do it, but it's quite an adventure and a lot of fun. Then we head back and go to sleep. Try to get a lot of sleep the first night because in the morning we've got our clinic bright and early. So we'll have a nice buffet breakfast together. We'll head over to Northwestern University and work with Professor Ferris. He's the director of the athletic bands there. He's a great clinician. We worked with him a couple years ago, and he's a lot of fun, very witty, and got some really good results out of the students. And so we'll be sitting in their band room working with him. At that point, we'll take a tour of Northwestern. We'll get to see all the fun buildings that they go to. It's a huge campus, so we won't see all of it, obviously, but we'll see their beautiful area there on Lake Michigan. Lots of old buildings and new buildings alike, and hopefully we get to see their auditorium. I believe that's their auditorium on the right there. We'll eat at their cafeteria and see what college cafeterias are like and experience that with the students. Then we'll head over to the Field Museum, world famous museum that is the history of everything. We get to play. Here's a picture of us 2 years ago. We get to play right in the huge entry area, and for the general public. So people come from all over the place, and just to see us. And if they're just walking by, they stop and watch us. It was fun to watch the crowd grow. And by the end of the concert, we had a lot of applause, and people were really into it. So it's a great performance. It's fun to take the kids and do a public performance. It's a lot different than just playing for your parents in Eden Prairie. You get a real sense that you're providing a service to the community that you're in. Then we'll head over to watch Blue Man Group in the theater. If you've never heard of Blue Man Group, these are the Blue Men, and they play all sorts of instruments and do a lot of interesting and funny and really wacky, kind of edgy, funny things with paint and with just kind of being hilarious and gross. And they involve the crowd. There's a splash zone where you have to wear ponchos, so hopefully we'll get up there in the front. After that really fun, musical, artsy experience, we'll head over to Gino's East Pizza, have some deep dish pizza, all you can eat, with hot fudge brownies. If there's time, we'll head back to the hotel and have a little downtime to kind of relax at the hotel. And we'll get in our hotel and get some good sleep for the ride home. The next day, we'll have a buffet breakfast again, and then we'll head over to enjoy the Millennium Park. All the exhibits and statues there are gigantic and lots of fun. We'll see the Bean. We'll see some of the iconic statues and the amphitheater there and all the boardwalks. Then we'll head nearby to the Shed Aquarium, world-renowned aquarium with all the sea life and aquatic life that they offer there. We'll eat lunch there at the aquarium and then hit the bus and head home. We'll stop on our way home at another food court and enjoy the bus ride home. We will have hours of quiet time, we'll have hours of homework time, and we'll have hours where you can do whatever you want. So students will be encouraged to bring all their homework with, so that when they get home on Sunday afternoon or Sunday evening, they won't have a big homework session to worry about. So those are all the details of the trip, and that's all for the low price of $495. And that's the reason that we have fundraising. Everything will be covered except for spending money at the food courts, and for some lunches and souvenirs that you have at those food courts and any of the gift shops that we head to. So that's going to be kind of up to parents how much they want to have their students able to spend on souvenirs, magnets, coffee mugs, stickers, all that kind of thing. So there's a gift shop at each of the museums, of course, and then Blue Man Group has a couple things you could buy, I suppose, t-shirts and whatnot. So we'll be together. Students will be with our group the entire time. When we're in a museum or the aquarium, they'll have a chance to wander off by themselves within the aquarium or within the museums. But we're going to obviously be with them. We have chaperones, and students are encouraged at all times to stay together as a group. There's really no downtime except for maybe that Saturday night back at the hotel to relax with their friends. And like I said before, our homework will be something that we'll do together. So to cover that $495 cost, we have chosen to do fundraising as usual through Club's Choice. Jeff Hendrickson was at the meeting last night with some fresh pizza. It is delicious. The cookies are great. That fundraiser began last night on November 9th at the parent meeting. You can read all the details in the packet that comes with it, but the order forms are due November 27th. So we just have a couple short weeks to get that done. Some great products. Kids can email their family throughout the country and use their entire catalog, which has hundreds of items, or they can stick to the pizza and cookie dough and try to sell that locally here. That will be delivered frozen on December 14th, so they'll need to get that right after school on the 14th, or have someone go there instead to pick it up and get it into a freezer, or get it to the hands of the people that purchased it from you. Again, don't send cash. Make sure you stick to checks so that we don't have cash floating around. And of course, then that helps with the payments. The payments will be to Gateway on their Gateway, My Gateway online payment system. We've got 4 payments set up for you. And the good news is, if you happen to make a couple payments and then decide to fundraise like crazy and you make enough money where you've maybe overpaid, you can always get a refund. So if whatever you go over $4.95, they'll either cut you a check or reimburse your credit card. I'm not sure which. But the details of all that are on their awesome website, where you'll set up an account and they'll take care of everything you need, including trip insurance and all the features that go along with traveling through Gateway music festivals. So these are just some more details at the meeting. We kind of glanced through them, but on that Friday morning, if you'd like to look at these, you certainly can. I'm going to skip through some of this stuff, and you can look at this at your leisure. But basically, the stuff that we need is listed there. Everyone's going to have a duty or a job. And of course, we stand for unity, artistry, excellence, and legacy. So maybe, Gertie, can talk about some of that a little bit.
So we do have pretty high expectations for students who go on this trip. One, because you are going to be missing a little bit of class time, and 2, because you're representative of our band program and our school and our community, and that's very important to us. So students who go on the trip need to make sure that they're passing all of their classes. They need to plan ahead with schoolwork so that when we do have our homework time on the bus, they can be productive and get everything taken care of, so that when we come back to school on Monday, there isn't any disruption to their academic progress. Right now, you can go ahead and join CELI if you would like. We'll have more information about that forthcoming, just how to join. That's how we communicate on the trip. But while we are on the trip, basically you need to be a kind and polite young individual representing our community. UAEL is kind of the standard of our band program, and that's how we like to approach every situation. We're doing it together, and we're going to do it well. So you can look through the list here, just some very basic things to keep in mind every day while we're traveling. But again, it's being kind to one another, remembering to treat those the way you want to be treated. And if you glance down about halfway through there, 5 minutes early is on time. When you're traveling with a group as big as we are going to, it is important that we are leaving early enough, that we are getting to every place that we need to be, not just on time, but early, in case anything were to happen and we need extra setup time or whatever. You never know.
And so on this trip, we'll obviously need some chaperones if you're a parent that's interested in coming with us, or you're concerned about your kid traveling by themselves. It's a great opportunity to come have some fun. We've got some adults already signed up, but we need several. So check it out, think about it, and think if that's something you would want to do. We had a testimony last night. There was a parent here that was on the trip a couple of years ago, or last year, and said it was super enjoyable. Not very stressful, not too much to do, and a lot of fun. Really good to see those kids at their best, and that's where we'll be. We'll really be at a peak level, peak experiences all around that whole weekend, and it's a lot of fun. The kids have a lot of really positive energy, and we hope that you can consider coming to check it out with us. As always, you can contact us with any other questions that you have via email, and we hope you enjoyed this. Now, this is the part at the meeting where we would split up and go try the pizza from the fundraiser. So if you don't believe us how delicious it is, you're going to have to ask somebody who was there. But thanks for watching this video, and we hope you can join us on the travel band trip to Chicago this year. Have a good one.